Hey everyone, I just finished one of the most physically demanding projects I've ever taken on. Digging a 150-foot trench and installing a hydrant. What I thought would be a quick 2-day job turned into a 6-day marathon. And let me tell you, it was a huge learning experience. I've never trenched a water line before, never installed a hydrant, never used the PEX tubing, and I definitely never cut into my water main. I brought out every tool in my arsenal. At one point, I even considered backing out and hiring a professional. But hey, I got it done, and I learned a ton along the way. Let me walk you through how it all went down. This whole project started from a chain reaction. I bought a shipping container for storage, but before I could even put it to use, the county forced me to remove it. That left me back to square one. So I decided to build a 12 by 24 tool shed instead. This is roughly where the tool shed pad is going to be. But I need to compact. In order to compact it, I need water. And I don't have water here. So this is the water wellhead. And that's the giant water tank, 5,000 gallons. Dig another water line directly towards where the chicken coop is. So not only it can work for the chicken coop, but also I need like a water in the backyard anyway. I think I'm gonna add a hydrant over here. I think I'm probably halfway, but you know how all project goes. Even for this digging, 90% is down and 90% to go, because the last section I'm gonna have to deal with the existing water lines and other things. It's gonna be, I have to use hand tool to dig the last section. Just to show you how hard the ground is, I'm not even unable to remove this little ridge. I can remove the top. Look at this ground. This is a high strength steel with a tip point. You see here? I don't know what kind of stuff is this. It will. So the teeth will go in, but then it will create a ridge here and will block the bucket. I'm trying to break off the ridge, then the teeth can go in a couple more inches, because I really like this to be solid, like 18 inches down for the frost line. This is gonna take a long time. Just basically working with the excavator. It digs a couple inches for me, then I clear ridges and it digs another couple inches. I don't know. Look at this. Look at this. I'm hitting concrete. As it turned out, the first section was soft dirt, and the next section was like digging concrete. So I brought out the jackhammer. So I guess you could call this a backbreaking work. Well, as I'm working, the hour meter literally hits 80. So I think I should do the right thing and stop it and grease the machine. Cylinder 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this should be 9, 10, but one of this is here. So the cylinder recessed nipple grease points, so 9 of those, total 19. I'm gonna try to time it this time and see how fast I can get it done. For both the Machpro MP30 and MP46, there are a total of 19 grease points, 10 regular and 9 recessed. This should be greased every 8 hours of operation. Stop. Yeah, 20 minutes, something like that. So I kept trenching, carefully navigating around the fence and the water tank. It took me nearly 2 days just to finish the main section of the trench. But what surprised me even more was how long the next step took. Figuring out where the underground water and the power lines were. And honestly, I was shocked by how little I actually knew about how my well system worked. Well, I'm still working on the trench over there. I think I'm gonna investigate this a little bit more based on what I see here. This is the water pressure tank. Ironically, it's only 2 gallon. I have a sub drive. I don't know if that's something that I figured into all of this, how it works. Pressure gauge. The other puzzle is it stays constantly on 80. I guess that it's about 200 feet going inside my house, so maybe 80 is reasonable here. Maybe by the time it gets to my house is 60. Trying to figure out where it goes. After finally excavating the area around the wellhead, I counted 7 water and power lines crisscrossing the space. I got lucky. If I'd sunk the bucket another ½ inch, I would have hit the water main. Talk about a close call. I also had a ton of questions about my well setup. From what I've read, the pressure gauge is supposed to sit between the pressure tank and my house, but here it is on the well side. If any well or plumbing experts are watching, I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. The frost line here is 18 inches. If you look at this, yeah, roughly 18 inches from here to here, but there's no insulation. It's just a plastic lid. If you consider water somehow comes to here at halfway, that's ground level. I don't know, I'm not an expert. not an expert. I didn't even know the things before I started. I still don't know. What I saw is not what I read or what ChatGPT was telling me. Little did I know the most physically demanding part of the project was still ahead. I thought once the trench was dug, I could just roll out the PEX-B line and connect it. But I learned the hard way, never work with PEX-B line in cold weather if you can avoid it. It took me a day and a half just to lay what's essentially a plastic tube in the trench. I think I'm gonna die tonight. Uncoiling the PEX-B line in cold weather was a nightmare. I would uncoil a couple of feet, then use stakes, turf pins, and even 30-pound boulders to hold it down. but I only had about 3 hours around noon when it was warm enough to work. Once the temperature dropped below 40 degrees, I had to call it quits. Otherwise, I risked snapping the tube in the freezing cold. I just created myself some unintended work because this is a clay. Once it's in place, I can't pull it out. So I've mostly stretched it out, but not entirely. So I let it sit here for the night, and I can at least know where I can cut it. Well, this is I guess you call this D-Day. I'm going to open this up and connect it and then bury it. I have to do it all in one day because freezing nighttime temperature drops to the 15 degrees or something like that. Normally, we'll cut a straight line and add an elbow here. But I decided to go curve around and just have a single 1T connector. Because if I do add an elbow, there's 2 more connection points, 2 more places to leak. And ironically, in this case, it even costs more to add a elbow, because elbow probably is like 15 or 10 bucks something. But just curve around, adding a couple feet of the PEX line, I think it's cheaper, less connection. Am I doing something wrong? I don't know. I'm cutting it now. Alrighty. I can move this a little bit. I think I can insert it in. 1 and 5/16. So quarter is 1/4. This will be 1. This will be 5/16. Keep making mistakes. Okay. According to Shark Bite website, there are 2 types of shark bite connectors, push to connect. One is called the first gen, the other one is called the max. The new one is called the max, and their insertion depth is different. The newer ones insert more, and this is the old one because I checked the Home Depot website. Now I'm working on to connect the hydrant end. I'm gonna open this box for the first time to see what's inside here. Never installed a hydrant before. This is that whipping hole or dripping hole, whatever that is. So it would be a test of my minimum plumber skill or lack of it. So hopefully I'm not doing something really stupid. I think I'm supposed to use paste. I wonder if they're similar. I don't know how tight this needs to be. It's good enough. Is there a thing called over tighten? I hope it's not breaking this copper fitting. So the connector I have here is push to connect, 1/4 inch, and the tube, if I insert it, it's a shark bite tube, shark bite connector. Where measures is 1/4. So this is how I'm going to put it in theoretical, okay, based on shark bite. It is just really easy. Let's see here. I'll rock a little bit. Supposed to go. Yeah, right on a mark. So according to shark bite, if you use the push connector underground, you need to use this. So I'm gonna tape it. Now if I have to put like a 1 inch 3/4 rocks, I put some 3/4 on the bottom. Put some big rocks. I don't have enough 3/4 at this point, or 1 inch. I hope there's nothing wrong. I'm gonna put just from my backyard. I'm gonna just script some 3/4 and put on top. My wife is testing from the other side, so water's on. Let's see here. Pressure goes to 80. I don't see any leak. I think I'm super happy. There's so many firsts for me. I never cut into my water main. I never used the PEX-B. I never did this 150 feet waterline trenching. I mean, just so everything the first time for me. I was extra nervous, but I think I'm done. So many unexpected things. I never expected it. So complex. It took me 2 days to figure out the water line and how the well works. It took me 2 days to lay just PEX line alone. I thought it would be 30 minutes. I can just drag the line out here and I connect it. It was backbreaking work. I am so happy. I am so happy. So far, I don't see any leak at all. So shark bite. I need to wrap this with the special tape. Victory test. Let's see if I get water here. I'm happy not only for this water hydrant is working, and so I can work on the other project as well. I'm also happy I have learned so much through this exercise. I think my confidence grows a little bit if I need to work on my water main in the future. I know how my well is set up. I know how roughly PEX line. For the first time I work on PEX line. So I learned a little bit about the PEX line as well. So very good experience for me. I worked late into night burying the water line to prevent it from freezing and bursting. It was a race against the time and the dropping temperatures. With the low fuel warning beeping at me the whole time, I was lucky to finish the job with the last drop of diesel. So I finished just in time before the snow. Oh, for the price, let me break down the total project cost here. I bought everything from Home Depot. I bought the hydrant for $68. a 300-foot roll of SharkBite 3/4 inch PEX-B tubing for $120. PEX-A would have been $45 more. I only used half of the roll anyway. A few SharkBite push-to connector and other connectors for about $50. In total, the project cost me around $250. I did some research before starting. PEX-B is less flexible than PEX-A, and some people say it has a lower flow rate if you use PEX-B's special connectors. Since I used push-to-connect fittings, which work the same for both PEX-A and B, but with push-to-connect, I didn't need to buy a special crimping tool for this one-time project. I also checked online estimates for this kind of a job. They ranged from a low 10K to low 20K. For me, having a new hydrant and the learning experience I gained, that's priceless. Thanks for sticking with me all the way through the end. If you're a plumber or well expert, I've got one last question for you. Check out the remaining clip and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe for more DIY adventures. All the plumbing experts out there, I do have a question I would like you guys to comment on. If this is a reasonable setup. And this is a 1-inch PEX line coming out of here. This is a 3/4 that goes to the water hydrant. As for the chicken coop, I may add some irrigation, not a whole lot. Then this PEX line mysteriously turns here and goes to a PVC line, and that goes to my house. It's about 200 plus feet away, and this PEX line really perplexes me, because if I mirror this, it comes up with really odd number. Okay, I think I'm mirroring it correctly. I mean, I mirrored it multiple times. Let's see what 42, 1.67, essentially 1.7 OD. Okay, it's consistently this number, so it's not standard PVC. It's like a between 1 and 1.5, close to 1.5 PVC line goes to my house.